Hello friends, now our topic is about environmental issues. We have lot of environmental issues, but importantly the very important and foremost aspects are we are discussing line by line, and the very first and importantly it is pollution. So the definition of pollution is any undesirable change in physical, chemical or biological property of environment is called pollution. The factors that cause the pollution we call it as pollutants. Coming to the types of pollution: air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, and radiation pollution, etc. And very importantly, daily we are going to encounter that is nothing but air pollution. Any undesirable change in physical, chemical, or biological property of air is called air pollution. The important air pollutants are oxides of sulfur, oxides of nitrogen, oxides of carbon, smoke, smog, and ozone. So, this is the picture which depicts us about the air pollution. Coming to the effects of air pollution, oxides of sulfur and nitrogen causes the chlorosis, nothing but the discoloration of the leaf. In this picture it is being clearly shown the discoloration of the leaf and defoliation of the leaves in plants, nothing but the falling of the leaves from the plants. In human beings, the oxides of sulfur and nitrogen causes eye irritation and nasal irritation. So we also call it as, so I am having dust allergies. So chronic cough means the cough will be lasting for more than 6 months, bronchitis, inflammation of bronchus, etc. The oxides of sulfur and nitrogen reacts with rainwater and causes the acid rain. In this picture, it is clearly shown the oxides of nitrogen and sulfur reacts with the rainwater and causing the acid rain to fall again back to the earth. Oxides of carbon results in greenhouse's effect. So some sunlight that hits the earth is reflected. Some becomes heat. So the carbon dioxide and other gases in the atmosphere trap the heat, keeping the earth warm. So coming to the next, the photochemical smog destroys the plant's vegetation. The ozone formed by the photochemical reaction of oxides of nitrogen and hydrocarbons at lower level of atmosphere, we call it as photochemical smog. Next, the control of air pollution. One is electrostatic precipitator. It removes the 99% of particulate matter present in the exhaust from thermal plant. It has electrode wires and a stage of collecting plates. So, the electrodes releases the electrons. These electrons get attached to the dust and give them a net negative charge. The collecting plates attracts the charged particles. So, scrubber. It removes the gases like SO2 and industrial exhaust. So, and next, catalytic converter, used in automobiles for reducing the emission of harmful gases. The vehicles fitted with catalytic converter should be used as unleaded petrol, as leaded petrol inactivates the catalyst. And next, auto fuel policy. So, the government of India laid out a roadmap to cut down the vehicle's air policy in many cities of India. Next, water pollution. The undesirable change in physical, chemical or biological property of water is called water pollution. The important water pollutants are sewage water, industrial waste, chemical fertilizer and pesticides. Effects of water pollution on biodiversity. The sewage waste directly released to the water source stimulates the increase of pathogenic microbes. It causes the waterborne diseases. This is one cause. And next, the nutritional enrichment in water results eutrophication and algal bloom. It increases the biological oxygen demand, means nothing but the need of oxygen. The pesticides enters the water resources, leads to biomagnification. The industrial wastes having the heavy metals and chemicals released to water destroys the aquatic organisms. The mercury that enters the human beings through the food chain causes many matter diseases. And next, eutrophication. What is eutrophication? Means the process of increasing in the algal production in water due to nutrition enrichment, we call it as eutrophication. So this finally results in the depletion of oxygen and biological oxygen demand increase. So in this picture it is clear that we have these nutrients increases the phytoplanktons, and the phytoplanktons will be morely grown on sedge grass. So finally it leads to algal bloom, algal die and the decay. Biomagnification. Accumulation of non-degradable chemicals, heavy metals in human beings through food chain is called biomagnification. So the man consumes the milk and food, so which is from sheep, cow, goat, feeds on these grasses. The grasses or the fodder. So finally, it is been through the food chain, it is been coming to man. Next, biological oxygen demand. The amount of oxygen required for microbial breakdown of biodegradable organic matter is called biological oxygen demand. So the biological oxygen demand is higher in polluted water and lesser in drinking water. Next, algal bloom. Excessive growth of phytoplanktonic algae on water body surface. It causes the fish mortality and pollute water because due to lack of supply of oxygen to the underground of the waters. Next, radioactive waste. The waste produced from the nuclear fission of heavy atoms such as uranium, thorium, etc. for the production of power is radioactive waste. This waste is highly toxic and causes the mutations and cancer. The nuclear waste should be stored after the heavy treatment and packed in special containers. It should be buried deep under the ground for minimum of 60 to 80 years for the waste to stabilize. Even then, there is a high chance of nuclear contamination of the surrounding areas and the groundwater. The failure of nuclear power plants can have a disastrous consequences. So the use of nuclear fuel should be avoided if possible. Next, the greenhouse effect and global warming. The global warming refers to the heating up of the earth due to greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect is causes when gases such as carbon dioxide, methane, etc. increases in the atmosphere. This leads to heating up of the earth as these are good absorbers of the heat. These gases prevent the excess heat from leaving the earth's atmosphere, thus resulting in greenhouse effect. Effects. It affects the Arctic pole ice cap to melt its rate up to 9% per decade. The rise in the sea level causes the flood in certain countries like Bangladesh, Maldives, etc. It causes the food and water shortage, destruction of underwater cities, coral reef and meadows, resulting in extinction. Only in the colder climatic regions, global warming brings the comfort, but in various other places, its effects is negative. Control measures of global warming. So the reforestation replaces the maximum carbon dioxide by oxygen, preventing the deforestation. Reducing of fossil fuel burning can minimize the global warming. Improving the efficiency of engines and turbines can drastically reduce the pollution. Planting hundreds of trees across the cities and in homes. Using the natural resources like wind energy, solar energy, and wave energy may help in overcoming the global warming. Coming to the depletion of ozone layer. Ozone is formed in the stratosphere by the effect of UV rays on oxygen. The thickness of the O2 is measured in Dobson units. Causes of the ozone depletion are the ozone degraded has increased due to chlorofluorocarbons. Chlorofluorocarbons reacts with the UV radiation to release chlorine ions. So, the chlorine atoms are catalytic that degrades the ozone to oxygen. So, the chlorofluorocarbons releases in the lower part of the atmosphere move upwards towards the south pole, hence the depletion of the ozone layer over the Antarctica because of this region. Next, the harmful effects. The UV damages the DNA, results in mutation. It causes the skin aging and skin cancer. The control measure. Montreal Protocol was signed in 1987 to curb the emission of ozone depletion substance like chlorofluorocarbons. Coming to the Freons. So, Freons. So, the chlorofluorocarbons we call it as Freons. Ecoscan. Ecoscan is ecological sanitation. Its approach is useful in converting the solid human excreta into manure. Next, e-waste. It is the electronic waste which includes irreparable components of electronic gadgets. Thank you very much. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel for more biology videos. Thank you.